Hi guys, welcome back to Jungle Flowers Canada. So this is the second part of my retro refit of my IKEA cabinets. So if you saw my video where I painted two cabinets that I bought on Kijiji from 1994, if you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link in the description, but I had said originally that I wasn't going to fit them out for at least 3 weeks. I just can't wait, I'm sorry. Well, the reason I was going to wait 3 weeks was because the paint that I used said it took 3 weeks to cure. So then I thought, you know what, if I just lay everything in and I don't move it around, it should be fine. So I was just itching to get it done, guys. I couldn't wait. So I thought I would show you today all the plants that I'm putting in the first one. Now I do have the second one almost ready as well. Well, it's ready, I just have to hang one more light. And I have some plants actually in there right now, but I haven't got it set up properly. But I thought I would show you what I'm putting in. Sorry, right, there's always noise in the background, isn't there? But anyway, I am going to show you what I'm going to put into the first one. So I thought I'd show you the plants first, and then I would just do a video of me styling the unit. So let me see what I have here. So I contradict myself all the time. If you recall, I said I didn't like using terracotta pots because I felt they dried out too quickly. But then I saw these white ones with trays on Amazon. I will put a link below. And I think there was like 10 of them for $19.99. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to buy them. These plants are going to be in the IKEA greenhouse, so the humidity hopefully will be higher anyway. And I wanted some sort of uniformity. Now, not every pot is this pot, but I decided so I transplanted all the pots that I planted the other day in plastic, transplanted them into this, and I'm going to put them into the greenhouse. So the first plant that I'm going to show you is my variegated, oh gosh. Okay, Leroy, stop. Okay, so the first plant is my variegated string of hearts. I do want to bulk this out a bit, but I was going to do it last week and I didn't. I might see if I can pick another one up online just to bulk it out, because I'm actually loving the little strands hanging down, and as much as I should cut them, I'm reluctant to. So I think I'm going to be on the lookout for another one that I can add to it. So that's going to be one of the pots that I use. Okay, I'm just going to actually put them down here after I've shown them to you. So this is a regular string of hearts. Now, there's something happening here. These used to have leaves on them, but I had these in my den, and I think what happened was that the light wasn't bright enough, so these died, or else they got knocked off, one or the other. I checked it for bugs, I couldn't find any bugs. You can see that the leaves that are actually in the pot are doing just fine. And I've decided not to cut off the strands, just in case they do decide to put out some more leaves. If they don't, I will cut them and maybe propagate them. So that is another string of hearts going into the cabinet. Guys, I bought these little pots, I would say 2 years ago in Vandermeer Nurseries. And they were like $2.50. And I just loved them, but I never really had anything to put in them. So I found them out in my garage, and if you recall, when I potted up my Hoyas, this is actually in a little plastic pot. It is in an inner pot. I thought, how perfect. This little, it's a little concrete pot, fits the plastic pot perfectly. And that's the Hoya Bella, that cutting that I got, that I planted up. So I decided I would put that into my greenhouse. And then another one is the, oh my gosh, I have to put the name up of this, guys. Something, and I think it's something Vietnam, and I just can't remember the name of it, but I decided I would put that little cutting in as well. Okay, what else am I putting in here? My Hoya Rotunda Folia. You see this kind of rectangular squarish leaves on this? So I transplanted this into a plastic pot last week, and then within 2 days I planted it out of there and into this terracotta pot. Now these terracotta pots are fully painted inside and out, so I'm hoping that that will help with the water retention. So this was a Kim's Nature purchase that I just recently bought. So then also a purchase from Kim's Nature is the Hoya Kodata. I just love this leaf. I think it's so cute. I love the like spotted variegation on it. and it's on a little trellis, and I just love it. It was a plant I was looking for, and I was so delighted to find it in Kin's Nature. I also have, now is this my Lisa? This is my Lisa. So guys, if you recall, I showed you my Hoya Australis Variegata on my top 10 favourite plants. And isn't it almost identical to the Lisa? I really find it hard to tell the difference, guys. Maybe a little bit more variegation on the Lisa. Not on the new leaves, because you can see the new leaves don't look as variegated as the older leaves. I brought this in from my greenhouse, my actual greenhouse, and I'm going to put this into my IKEA greenhouse. This is a Hoya Sunrise. So guys, can you see the stressing on this leaf here? So this was just under my shop lights in the basement, and I actually have others that are way more stressed than this, but I picked this one because it's a little bit bigger. And you can see again, I've put it into this white terracotta pot. And next up is a Hoya Elliptica. So here's my Hoya Elliptica. Starting to really take off. It's got lots of lovely new growth on it. And I actually love the Elliptica. I like the feel of the leaves. There's like, you can feel the veining. You can actually feel the veining in the leaves. So guys, you're going to see a lot of Hoyas in this cabinet. It won't be exclusively Hoyas, but I will be having a lot of Hoyas in here. I love my Hoyas. Now this poor baby, I actually squashed it. Look, I don't know how I managed to do that. So this is the Hoya Rotunda. I got this from Vandermeer Nurseries. It doesn't really fit in this pot, but I kind of like it. So now I have my Syngonium Elbow. I love this. I have a few Syngonium Elbows, guys, and I like this one. I particularly love this leaf. So that is going in. And am I two left? Oops, sorry, I'm making a racket here. And then this is the Hoya Carnosa that I cut off of the Crimson Princess. If you recall, I told you in one of my videos that some of it reverted. So I rooted it and planted it up. So that's going in. And then last, but certainly not least, I'll tell you why this has become one of my favourite plants. The Philodendron Silver Sword. Why has it become one of my favourites? Because I was watching Fern from Wild Fern. She's a Canadian YouTuber. And I saw hers. So hers is mature. Oh my God, guys. It is magnificent. Since I saw hers, I'm now hooked. This has become one of my favourites, and I cannot wait for this to grow. So I even bought this beautiful pot. Now, it's probably a little too big for it, but the roots were really good on it. So when I transplanted it in here, I'm like, oh God, should I do that? But actually, the roots were great. So that is also going in there. I also want to style the cabinet, guys. So I had these in the house. They're from Dollarama. And as we're in lockdown, I didn't want to go out and buy anything. You can see actually there I missed a piece of the painting, but it's not going to matter. So I had blue paint in the garage and I just sprayed them this blue. So I'm going to use these to give different levels to my plants. You'll see when I'm doing it now in a few minutes. And I did a trial run and it actually looked amazing. And then, probably my favourite piece. This is a piece of driftwood. I bought this in Vandermeer Nurseries 2 years ago. And it was that lovely brown colour, you know, when you buy them first. I actually have another piece over there, I'll show it to you. And they come in like a lovely brown colour, but this has been outside since I bought it and I actually love the colour of it now. You can see it's very faded, it's kind of like a grey, but isn't it so interesting? I remember when I bought this, my husband was like, "What'd you buy that for?" And I said, "I just think it's beautiful." And I knew I would find something, like it was lovely outside. I used to put it in front of my pots, but it's fabulous in my IKEA greenhouse, guys. You're going to see it in a few moments. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen this in the picture already. So cute. So one last thing, guys. I have a water fountain in the IKEA cabinet. We have to give credit to Alina from Planteria Decorator for this one. She put it in hers and I think it's caught on big time. I think she has created a fantastic trend. But because I have wood in this cabinet, I certainly didn't want to put a humidifier in there. So I put the little water fountain in, and it is adorable. There's little lights on it, so at night time when the lights are all off, you can see the little lights and you can hear the water trickling. It's so beautiful, I love them. So I have them already in there. I've already put up the lights. So the lights I use Costco closet lights. They were $39.95. They're 4,000 Kelvin. Now I have mentioned I usually use 5,000 Kelvin, but these work brilliantly. I have them in my green greenhouse, my green IKEA greenhouse. The plants love them. I have lots of growth on them. I even have a little bit of sun stressing on them. And even on the bottom shelf where I have it like quite a distance away from my plants, they're still fantastic. No issues with them at all. Now, if you want to use grow lights, by all means use grow lights, but just letting you know that these are working perfectly for me. So I just want to throw it out there. If you don't want to go with grow lights, or if you're a little stuck for cash at the moment and you just want to wait, and you can just pick these up and try them, I can attest to the fact that they work brilliantly. You know, we sometimes get caught up in grow lights and expensive grow lights, and you know what, plants will grow even under regular bulbs, not amazingly, but you know, once they have some light, you can keep them going. So that's what I use. I'm a great fan of 4 and 5, well, particularly 5,000 Kelvin, because 5,000 Kelvin is the equivalent to daylight, but I have just proved that the 4,000 Kelvin work just as well. So I just thought I'd throw that out there, guys, and let you know. The nice thing about these is they're nice and slim, so they're not bulky in your cabinet, and especially for these retro cabinets, they couldn't carry a bulky grow light. So now that I've told you everything that's in there, I'm going to dress it out and I'm going to show it to you. Okay guys, so I thought I would just give you a quick look at the second unit before I finish up. Here is the second unit. Now I haven't finished this yet. I still need to buy a couple of more decor pieces, but let me show you what I have in here. So at the back there I have a painted lady philodendron, I have a Hoya Sunrise, and I have a Hoya Sarawak. There's a little piece of driftwood that I just put in there. It's cute. And that's actually just a teapot, a David's tea teapot. I just fill that with water so I can top up my fountain. There's my beautiful fountain. And here is a Calistophylla, a Scindapsus trubii, a Hoya carnosa freckles. And in the back here, there are some of the little cuttings that I was propagating in my prop box, I should say, of my philodendron micans. And this is another little pot that I found in my garage. I thought it was quite fitting. It goes with the theme. And then down here, so this is very bare. I have to fill this out with something else. So here I have philodendron cream splash. Here I have a Syngonium pink splash. And here I have a Peperomia hope. And now these 26-year-old cabinets have a new life here in my home. I'm delighted with them. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, you know I'd really appreciate it. If you could subscribe to the channel, that would be amazing. If you could put a green heart in the comments to let me know that you watched till the end. And I'd like to thank you guys again for your continued support. Take care, guys.